everyone. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you have a marvelous day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe wants to share with us. So let's take a look at the cards and see what we should know. Okay. So we have the shadow, self-empowerment, ambition. Yeah, a lot of times people like to pretend their shadow isn't there. They like to bury their head in the sand and be in denial and be like, nope, 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 I refuse to look at it. And that's not going to actually help us. Like, maybe short term it might in certain situations, but the shadow is a part of you. And so how is that going to serve you? It's going to end up doing all this. How's the best way to put it? Like, you're going to end up going through all these unconscious patterns and habits, and like it could lead to self-sabotage without you being aware, and like could hurt your relationships because you're doing all these unconscious things and you're not like owning up to things. Like with my family, they are very much with the shadow in the sense of them being in denial and not wanting to look at it and saying, nope, it's not there, nope, it's not there. And it's like the other day, my mom broke something of mine, and I was like, well, now it's broken. She's like, no, I didn't break it. And I was like, you totally did. No, all I did was pick it up. I didn't do anything. It's like, well, it could hang before, and now it can. It's like, no, it wasn't me. And it's just like, you're screaming at me. You're not even wanting to own up to what you did. I'm not saying you meant to do it, that was your intention, that you're going around trying to break everything, but it's like, the truth is the truth, facts are facts, that's what happened. It was fine before you touched it and messed with it. And like, there's also a thing like with them and the cat, like they'll be like, oh no, she loves me, she would never fight me. It's like, she's literally growling at you, hissing at you, swatting at you, and trying to chew her way to freedom through your arm. What are you on about? And it's just like, they don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to look in the mirror. They don't want to look at the things like, and it's self-empowerment to see yourself as you truly are, because if you're not willing to, take stock and see where you're at, how are you going to be able to learn, grow, and improve? How are you going to be able to become the person you want to, because you're not seeing the reality for what it is? That doesn't mean you have to enjoy everything. That doesn't mean it's all to your preference, but you gotta be honest with yourself, be real with yourself, and be like, that was like when I was asked to be an accountability partner. I was looking for the gentlest, kindest, most loving and respectful way to bring it to her attention, because it's like, you're self-sabotaging again. You're going through these unhealthy coping mechanisms, and you're like in denial, and it's like, you're literally just like shooting yourself in the foot. You're not looking at it. And then she just ended up blowing up on me and, getting all aggressive and saying like, of course that I'm going to be controlling and rigid because, and I was like, you can choose that, but this is what leads to trees breaking in storms. It's being too rigid and controlling. If you're not going to ease up, if you're not going to be more flexible and adaptable like bamboo, you're not going to make it out of all these storms. It just is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not saying you're trying to do this, but it's like, you need to look at yourself. You need to see yourself more fully, because how are you going to be able to take stock of where you are and use yourself and learn and grow if you're being in denial? And so we gotta work with the shadow. We can't just separate it. Like, we're all human. We have the light and the dark. We have the yin and the yang. And there are going to be parts of ourselves that we wish weren't that way. But if we're just going to keep wishing that we're not that way and not look at it, how are we ever going to move forward? Because there are parts of me where it's just like, I look at myself and I'm like, like I look at some of my past first, I'm like, I wish I hadn't done that, like trusting the wrong people and, But then I also have to own up. It's like I got myself in this situation. I trusted the wrong people. I didn't speak up enough about myself and have those healthier boundaries. And so that's how I got to that point. And so it sucks. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. And like, I don't like it. But at the same time, it's like, well, how am I going to move forward if I can't even see reality for reality and be real with myself and honest? It's not like I wanted to be that way, but it's like that's what happened. I got to own up my part of that. Like, yes, I can't control what they do. They were very hurtful. They were very harmful and toxic and all these things, but it's like I had a role to play in it. So we got to own up more. We got to be willing to work with the shadow instead of being like you're the enemy. It's like, why are you making yourself the enemy or parts of yourself? Why not work with all of yourself and do the best that you can and be gentle with yourself and be like, yeah, I'm a human. Yeah, I'm going to make mistakes. Yeah, I have flaws. Yeah, I have areas for growth and weaknesses, but I also have strengths. And so working with the entirety of you, your whole you, versus like trying to section off and bury parts of yourself that you don't like. It's not going to work well. It's not. But yeah, just be gentle with yourself. Show yourself a little more love, kindness, and compassion. It's going to be okay. We'll be able to weather the storms. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.